Hey, good morning, guys. How you all doing? Yeah, this is little Lily here. Today is June 2020, and the time says it's 12:26 a.m. That's right. I'm still up. I'm cooking something on the stove, and it's going to take a few hours. So I want to wait till it's all finished, cooked before I go to bed. Well, I hope your day went well. Me and the gang, we had gone to the park. And I want to discuss an experience that I had today. And it's an experience that I just want to think it's just an oversight, but I'm starting to see a pattern. And I think I get a little sensitive. I'm a sensitive person. And my sensitivity is, I would say, heightened because of the drama that's happening in the U.S. regarding race relations as it pertains to Black people. Um, I like to think that I'm just like everybody else, like mainstream society, and you know, some people just have a chip on their shoulder, and they just gotta relax and chill out, and nothing bad would happen to them. Well, I want to believe that, but experiences as such could be, some things are subliminal. Some of the people may not do things consciously, and some things are. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so me and the gang here, I have two more dogs, as many of you know. I went to the park and I had my stroller, and I just wanted to just relax. I went to a park that I usually don't go to, and I've never actually like picnicked out there. I mean, I sat there once before, maybe 4 weeks ago, and it was a positive experience. I said, that seemed like fun. Let me go back there, but hey, maybe even just lie down. So I brought my little mat, and I find a spot under the shade, and I was almost settled down. I had to get the water. I set up everything, and then I wanted to feed my dogs their water, and then just maybe do some reading or whatever. And just before I even got the water out to give to my dogs, two peace officers came by, and it was a male and female. One was, excuse me, a brown skinned Hispanic fellow, Caribbean type, and the other one looked like an American, North American black. And the guy was younger looking than the girl, or I should say woman. Um, and I noticed like the guy did all the talking, and he took a more assertive stance in approaching me. The lady kind of just in the background, kind of like a little bit like behind, and just to like he was to do all the initiation and everything, the dialogue. And I noticed like when he came up to me, now I'm just one female with three little dogs, and I'm not a big person, really. Um, and he had his hands to his hips, and his hands was at where his weapon is. And he says, "Oh, no dogs are allowed on this. Right now, we're allowing people to come, but not dogs right now." I said, "Oh, I had no idea." And I think there might have been dogs there when I came, but either way, I said, okay, I didn't know. So and then they walked away, and I put my stuff up and left. Maybe 5 minutes at the most after I changed, left. A group of people sat where I sat, and there were four dogs, four little dogs, and they're having a good time. They're eating their food, everybody, just relaxing, chilling out there. And I was surprised no one came. No security came for them. And I saw people walking. Um, okay, no, you're not going to jump off. Okay. And I saw people walking with their dog across the park. And this park is on 25th Street and 5th Avenue. And this is in New York City, Manhattan. And they're just walking, casual. And I'm thinking, wow, how come when I was there, they came right away? And here these people, they can walk with their dogs, they can sit with a group of dogs, and there's no security to be found. And they were there like the group that was sitting down having their lunch. They might have been there for maybe a half an hour. Um, I said, wow. And my insecurities started coming out. I didn't say anything, but I felt a little, I said, well, that's weird. And I started to take things personal. And kept reminding myself, it's okay, maybe they just don't see. And don't take it so personal. Just go with the flow. They saw you, okay, then so be it. And you shouldn't compare yourself with others. That's what I was trying to tell myself. But I felt it. So eventually they do come. Well, first I saw them, the people the security or peace officers, they were like in the middle of the park, outside the park, but in the middle so they can see, up or down. But then I'd say, and there are three of them now. There was the two that came to me, and then a third, another female. And they were all talking amongst themselves. And I'm thinking, how interesting. They're supposed to be ensuring compliance, social distancing, and nothing. And so I watched them. And then they just started walking towards my direction. And then I said, okay, I wonder how long it's going to take for them to notice. And they're just taking their sweet time. And then they eventually did walk in and told them. But I think that the people were about to leave anyhow. And then they left. So I said, wow, what is the likelihood something like that? Like they didn't see them, you know? Then I started just thinking. My memory bank started kicking in. And again, I'm not the type of person to I don't want to so-called tell on people. Because I like my dogs, and if someone can get away with it, let them, because if I can do the same, I would want to do it too. But then I started remembering other instances at a different park. And I didn't notice the sign. There is a sign, no dogs allowed. But I was new at the park, that section, and I didn't notice it had it. And, I don't like reading signs a lot, but, So I had sat on the grass with the blanket, and I had my dogs. I had books. I wanted to like camp out there all day. I had a lot of books I wanted to read. I had my dogs, and the water. I was set for the afternoon, and lo and behold, the peace officer came by. No dogs allowed. But I know I said, okay, and I was disappointed. And then I noticed, following visits there, because I really like that park, people with their dogs, and they're just relaxing. And my dogs are very small, and I see the big dogs and nothing. And they have cameras there also. They have cameras by. Now this is on the pier in um, on 43rd Street, right next to the Intrepid. And it's a state park. That's considered a state park. And I was wondering, I said, wow, because I know they have the cameras throughout this area. And then why aren't they sending the peace officers over to do their police, you know, the compliance? And no one comes. So I kind of like, uh, on a different occasion, I said, okay, well, maybe they kind of changed the rules or something. So I went back there, on a different occasion, had my dogs. Oh, you can't bring, and it's like soon after. I said, wow, how is it that I I get pointed out somehow? I make their radar, and other people, they can have small dogs, big dogs. They're just lying around, the people there, but not me. How do they get away with it? And then, oh, what was that? Oh, even at the same state park, like they have the grass, and on the perimeter of the grass is like this cement thing, and you could like sit down on the cement, and on the inside is the grass. So I was just sitting on the cement part, and my dog's leg was touching the grass. And security, the peace officer came by. No dogs on it. And the dog's just leg is on it. So, I'm not on the grass. I'm not trying to be a smarty pants. We were all, at the cement part. And just for the leg on it, touching it. Right, we're on the very edge. So I had to, move the dog a little bit, shift him over. But I'm thinking, wow. And then other visits, you see people with their dogs, big, small, and it just could stay there for hours. But somehow I get spotted out. Oh, what else? And another time, not even with the dog, I said, okay, I'm going to get my little blanket, but go in a different section away from the grass, just a cement, and just try to find some type of shade somewhere. There were little trees. They were little skinny trees. But it's in the cement. It was near the tables. And I had my singing bowl. And I was just playing it. Guess what happens? A peace officer comes by, and my eyes were closed and I was playing it. Just getting to the singing bowl. For those who don't know what a singing bowl is, it's a device that it's made out of crystal, quartz crystal. It's white, and it's very thin in the shape of a bowl. And you take another instrument, and it's like a stick that has suede on the outside, and you go around the edge of it, and it vibrates, and it makes a pretty sound. So I was playing that just for a little bit, and the peace officer came by, And again, my eyes were closed at the time, and I'm playing it, and my doggies are with me too. She's, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" So I open my eyes, turn my head. I said, "Oh, I'm fine." Um, so I lift up, so I figured maybe she doesn't know what it is, and I'm not, you know, maybe she, she's not familiar with something like this. So I lifted up and show her. I said, "Oh, this is called a singing bowl, and I was just playing this, right?" "Oh, that's okay, that's okay. That's okay. I was just saying, I was just talking." Now, peace officers aren't going to come up to you and want to be friendly and ask, "Are you okay?" She's asking okay because she's trying to figure out, hey, I'm some crazy woman. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting when I tried to explain. Now, if she just wanted to be friendly and just conversation, then wouldn't it have been appropriate for me to also share what I'm doing with it? But oh, that's too much information. She was uncomfortable. So that was that. And then I like bookstores. And this one bookstore in the city, it's very often when you go to bookstores, popular bookstores, that the customers are like sitting on the floor and get a pack of books and just kind of camp out and read or whatever. And I actually like doing that. I do when I see them doing it. And so this time I said, I'm going to sit on the floor. They weren't there, you know, wasn't anyone else, or just one or two people sitting on the floor. And so I sat down and to just relax and look at some of the books. And security comes. You can't sit on the floor. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. But then, on other occasions, you see packs of people, and they're just sitting on the floor, has a books, and okay. Um, it was disappointing. And then the last thing I want to talk about, I think, um, I went to Time Warner Building right by Columbus Circle, and this was where those statues are on the ground floor. And I see a group of people, young people, I think parents and their children, and they were just sitting down, relaxing, because there's no like benches or chairs there to sit down. And they were tired. These were like vacationers, and so I kept like a mental note because I like to do things like that. So on a different occasion, and I had my dogs. I was real tired. It was hot outside, and I just wanted to just sit down for a moment because there's no benches. And give my dog their water because we had walked all the way there. It's like close to a mile, and I could have put my butt on the floor for more than a second, and you guessed it, security. Oh, you can't sit on the floor. I said, oh, okay. So I get my things up and everything. And I still continue going to that mall at Time Warner Building in the city. And then I notice other people sitting, having their lunch. It is a different section, but near the exit. And no one comes over. Now, let me tell you, what is the common denominator in all this? And what what could it possibly be? You know, what could it be? Well, I look the way I look, but all the other people were white people. That's the difference. Yep. One time I was even at the bookstore. I had my dogs with me. They allowed dogs then. And then I was being followed by a security guard. And I had asked permission when I had my little dogs. And it was a nice man up front at the entrance. I said, is it okay that I bring my dogs? Oh, sure, yeah. So I go in. Really nice guy. And then I enter, go further back in the store. And then I noticed security guy kind of looking at me. And then he had like talking on his sleeve like that, blah, 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 blah. I noticed him. He was looking at me. I just ignore him. Then I had to go downstairs. And guess what else? He goes downstairs also. And right next to me and watching me. And then talk on the sleeve. And I think I said something to him. I know I said something. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I went to management. And I told the management how I felt. And the manager also was a black person, a young black woman. And the security guard was a black man, young black man, very tall. I said, look, I felt really funny. I just told her what happened. And she said all the perfunctorals, apologize. I mean, she, really great PR. And we talked for quite a while, and I explained to her why it bothered me. And we came to understand. She was pleasant. And then I left, and I had forgotten something, like just seconds. Came back, and the lady, I think the lady was talking about me to another woman, a black woman, angry. I mean, I couldn't have left more than 20 seconds because I had left something at the spot where I was staying with her. And she was visibly very, very upset and cursing, really, really animated. And I felt awkward. I mean, I just felt that, I could be wrong. Maybe it wasn't directed at me. But it's just really something. It's like, what is it? I feel with all this, oh, there was something else. What was that now? With, oh, with the, what do you call it? The quarantine that they have social distancing that they have in New York City. It was either the mayor or governor, I forget which one. And they were going to allow a particular thing, but they don't want you, I forget what place it was, but they don't want you to sit down. They want you can kind of be at a place, but they don't want anybody sitting down. They said we want movement, movement, movement. And what that reminded me of was the West Indies. I had an opportunity to live in the West Indies, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the island of St. Thomas. And I noticed there, it's heavily tourism, but I noticed how it's set up for the local people who reside there. There are no benches. They have a big coastline, but nothing for the people who reside there to enjoy looking at the water. Because this is what I speculate. They don't want people to sit down. They want you moving. They don't want black people congregating, sitting, enjoying their land. But they'll set up things for the tourists. And you can just speculate what color slash race are the tourists usually that go to the West Indies. Okay? And it's just an awareness that I'm noticing or remembering in all this drama that this country has been having for the past 3 months. And I'm sick of it. I love, I wanted to work here. I'm born and raised here. My parents are born and raised here. I served in the military here. And I want to feel like I'm equal to everybody, and that we're all one, all that. And I thought, if I try to act like I'm like everybody, so-called like everybody else, that I'll look and be perceived like everybody else. No, that's not the case, because I am who I am. I cannot, I am who I am when you see me. And I'm different than my counterpart. And in all these scenarios, that there is a standard that's put on black people, and there's a standard for people who are white or pale skin like them, that they are given more leeway. What they do is overlooked, or they just don't notice when they do things that are wrong. So, but if you are a black person and you're doing something that's considered wrong, whether the person who approaches you is whether they be black or white, doesn't matter. They treat you, they single you out, and they tell you immediately, you can't do that. So now, why I'm mentioning this is because now with all these shootings of unarmed black men and unarmed black women, that's not usually the case with the women, but there were instances that black women got shot by the authorities. If someone has not committed a crime punishable by, jail or prison time, and they come to you to reprimand you. But just imagine, like, when things are done that is punishable by prison time, what is the distinction between the two? There's an imbalance, and people are treating certain types of people a certain way, and there's a lack of what am I trying to say? There's really no gray line. It's either a yes or no type of thing, good or bad. And it seems like they're able to spot something bad in you quickly if you're a black person. And a white person or someone of pale skin like theirs do the same thing. That the trigger finger action of reprimand is set at a higher level of tolerance. So in me, it's a lower level of tolerance. So any infringement, they're coming like, bees to honey. So I'm wondering how this country is going to resolve the issue with cops when, let's say, they are summoned to a situation, whether it's true or false, because sometimes people accuse you of something that isn't the case. So how, if you can't handle even something like that, and then so-called little infringements like you're sitting on the floor, you know, how you gonna? They can't. You can't even handle that. So this is something that has to be addressed, because it's something that's so rampant, and I don't think that they really realize what they're doing. And again, it doesn't matter whether the security is a black or white person, but it's who they're targeting. That they target people that look like me or other black people differently than how they handle their counterpart. So this is really food for thought, and I hope this video really spreads for awareness. Start noticing how people treat you when you're reading or sitting. Just notice it. Start noticing it. Even experiment. You got black and white friends. Try it. Try it as an experiment in with a sitting situation, and see how fast they come, or see how long it takes, and just see what happens. Try it if it's safe for you to do such experiment. If it's safe for you to do, because these days the authorities or peace officers or security guards, I don't know, but if it's safe for you to do, try it and document. And maybe you should point it out to them and say, hey, I come here and I notice blah, blah, blah. Or even write the management. I think I might, I don't know. I think I might want to call management of the park and notice that disparities in who can have their pet sitting on the grass versus not sit on the grass, or sitting on the floor versus not sitting on the floor. I see that and reminded like when I was living in the West Indies. Same thing. They don't want black people to, they want you to always be on edge. And now with this coronavirus thing, which is just the flu/colds, they're implementing that. They don't want you just sitting. They want just move, 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 move. Right? Even though it's summer is approaching. Isn't summer tomorrow? What is it? Summer is around now. It's coming up. Yeah, June. See that? Yeah. The flu, what was that? The cold and flu bug, viruses, they die in heat. You're better outside in the heat to kill off all that virus. So I have a feeling that, see, this is just the tip of the iceberg, that like with the governor or mayor saying, they don't want anybody to sit down. You have to keep on moving, police state, and see how they treat blacks in the Americas. You're next. You're next. See, they experiment on one group, and once you get so comfortable with your privileges, then they're going to attack you. That's what I see what's happening. See, everything is setting up. They experiment first with black people, and then they get you. Yeah. So let me know what you think. And if it's safe for you to do that experiment, you know, try it and then write down in the comment section, if, what your findings are. Okay? If it's safe for you to do so. If it's not safe or whatever, don't do it. Yeah. So each one teach one. I wish this wasn't the case and I wish I wasn't so sensitive, but I'm sensitive. I am sensitive. Yeah. And I think most people would be sensitive if they see disparities. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a veteran and I serve my country. And when I see disparities, it makes me angry and hurt. Yeah. So that's all. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I gotta check to see my bone broth soup is almost done. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Bye bye.